Maayong adlaw, kamusta? Ben from Ben in Cebu. Um, a little bit about me, if you're new to the channel. I'm married to a Filipina. I have a 1-year-old son, actually he's 15 months, and we live just outside Cebu City. And I've been here this time around 2.5 years in country, and I lived here before for a couple of years, and I've been back and forth several times. So I got a little bit of experience with the Philippines. You want to learn things from someone who has some experience, then maybe I'm, a good fit for you. And if so, please consider subscribe to my channel and liking my videos and dropping comments and engaging. I'm always very engaging, and if you drop a comment, I will definitely reply to it. Let's get to today's topic at hand, which is, can you be friends, true friends, with Filipinos? So you're probably wondering why the atmosphere is completely different. Well, I had to come home because I was trying to cut that video and discuss things, but I just kept getting interrupted and distracted by, all the people seeing me with my camera and little kids coming up to me and saying hi and, the whole deal. So to answer the question, can Filipino and foreigner truly be friends? And the answer is maybe. And I know that sucks, but harken back to 2015, where I had, a certain group of guys that were like my go-to dudes, and seemed like everything was solid, and everything was good, and I had met a good group of guys. Um, well, one day a new guy kind of came into the mix, and he had lived abroad for 10 or 15 years or something like that. And we were all just, hanging out, eating and talking. And eventually he just kind of and I was surprised. He just stood up and he said, it's rude to speak, in a language that not everybody understands, and you guys are being disrespectful. And he just kind of got up and walked away, and I was kind of taken aback, like, seems suspicious. Like, I wondered why he reacted that way. So I kind of followed him out, and I asked him, and he didn't want to say what his issue was, which raised my radar even more. Well, it turns out that there were multiple people making comments about me, and in their language, because they knew I didn't speak it, and they were saying some pretty vulgar things like, "Oh, he just thinks he's so cool because he's got a big Johnson," down below, which I wish I did, but mine isn't anything to brag about. But they just assumed that since I'm foreigner, that I'm packing heat down below. You know what I'm saying? They kept saying things in their language like, "Is he gonna ever go to 7-Eleven and buy more?" And things like that. And I was just shocked. And the reason why he didn't want to tell me these things, because he didn't want me to like go back to them and start problems for them. So I quickly learned that probably be important to learn the language so that kind of stuff doesn't occur. And so I just kind of stopped hanging out with those guys. So fast forward through other experiences and things, and I was just kind of pretty standoffish after that, and didn't really try to find groups of friends, or if I did, I kept it real surfacey. But so now I've been here for the last 2.5 years, and I swear the same thing happened to me. All the dudes that live around me, get pretty buddy with them and chatty with them, and same thing happened. Another Phil American happened to just stroll up while I was hanging out there talking to people that I've been talking to for over a year, and he he speaks both languages very well, and he also heard them talking about me. saying that I was naive because I overpay on the trikes and, all these things, and just kind of laughing at me and making fun of me went right in my presence, and I had no idea. That just kind of proved to me that, they're just wanting to know me because of what they can get from me. And they don't really have any respect for me since they're willing to, talk bad about me right in front of me in their own language simply because I don't understand it. So, that um, this just happened recently, so it's this way the subject's been on my mind is because, when you're here in the Philippines, you don't really have much of a social outlet. Especially where I live, there aren't very many foreigners, and the ones that do live here completely keep to themselves. If I didn't have, my landlord here that is from Nevada, and then another friend I got that lives down the road, who's from Kentucky or something like that. He's a southerner. He's got some kind of southern accent. Then there would be literally nobody for me to talk to, and discuss things with. So me being kind of social type, I like having that outlet. I started just trying to wiggle my way into, all these guys that are hanging out around in my apartment, in the area of my apartment. And that didn't serve me well, which led me to wonder, is it even really possible as a foreigner to make good friends with Filipinos? Or do the local people here just have no real interest in getting to know somebody from another country on a deeper level? And my experience has been no, they don't really want to. Now, this is not to say that you cannot make good friends with Filipinos. Um, I was talking to a guy a couple days ago from England, and he'd been living in the Philippines for a long, long time, and he just told me, you find that if you live in an area that's not like a really nicer neighborhood, then the caliber of people may be lower, and they weren't taught that respect. But if you frequent, more more places that have, middle class and upper class, um, he said, there are gems, Filipino people that are just fantastic. You'll encounter Filipinos that they're quoting, Voltaire and Socrates, and you know things that would resonate with me because I can quote those guys and find a lot of wisdom in it, and it's very, very rare to encounter people like that. But again, I'm not going to, the higher dollar places. I've, since I've been here, been living like a local, and um, the area that I live in is not very wealthy. So, um, uh, you know, it's possible, but 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 you also got to think about it, like how many real true friends do you have where you're from, and or are they mostly just acquaintances? Like there's that old adage, I've got 1,000 friends, but I always feel alone. You're never really truly bonding with your 1,000 friends, and that's why you'll hear people say, I've got a small circle of friends," and if you're able to find a friend, hold on to them, right? So it's not easy to make friends anywhere, like real friends. So, in my experience, living where I've lived in the Philippines, I've had no luck breaking through the barrier. And of course, I think that a lot of that is based on a language barrier and the shyness of the Filipinos who aren't very fluent in English, and they become kind of shy to speak to you because of that fact that the communication won't be fluid, and they just tend to avoid you. So some of those people may be actually really great, but their fear is inhibiting them from actually traversing those treacherous waters to develop some type of bond with you, just because of their fears of being embarrassed, things like that. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you have lived in the Philippines and found success, in meeting people and having good friendships that are meaningful, or if you've had similar results as I have. So, we'd love to hear what you have to say, and this is not a put down or anything. It's just something that I've been thinking about, and something that I've been wondering about all the people that have lived here for a significant amount of time, to be able to kind of have a strong opinion about it that I can that we can actually respect. If you're just here for 2 weeks, every couple years or something like that, then your opinion isn't gonna hold much value in that regard. So, anyways, thanks a lot for checking this out. Really appreciate you giving me that click. Please subscribe to my channel and follow along in my journey. Thanks everybody. Have a blessed day.